Good afternoon. Welcome to Jim Munley's World of Weather. Clicked on to long range weather forecast discussion for September 17th to 29th. First, going to take a look at Florence. It's still a very well organized storm. You can still see banding. I think here is the center right here, just barely. It's inland, but just barely. And it's holding on to its intensity because half of the circulation is over the warm waters. And if you look very closely on the satellite imagery, you can still see some thunderstorm activity developing and rolling in inland. Now, this is supposed to be a very prolific rainfall event even after the storm weakens. So we'll take a look at the rainfall amounts, rainfall forecasts. Okay. Trying to think where the maps are. Okay. This is the European. You can start right here. You can see some purples, dark purples here. So we're up to here. This is in 6-hour intervals. And you see it kind of like stays around here Saturday. It's still raining hard. We have some blues starting to approach up here. Alright, I'm going to go back to this. Sunday, it's still raining. Monday, still raining. And then we get into, then it starts lifting northeast. That's the European. Now we're going to take a look at the GFS. This is also in 6 hours intervals. This is, quantity precipitation forecast chart. The GFS isn't as heavy as the European. We'll go back to the European because I thought I saw some blues starting to appear. I think it's right around this area here if you're looking right in there where the pointer is. So it's supposed to be a very prolific rainfall and even delivering a lot of rainfall as it heads northeast. We'll take a look. This is where Florence is right now. Just barely in the coast. And its forecast track, if you can follow this, I'll try to shrink it a little bit. It's forecast to go here and recurve and go up along or just west of the Appalachians. And within this area, it'll develop, it'll spread a lot of rain in its path. Is there anything else that I want to show? Oh, here's the current radar. Here's the thunderstorms I was talking about, the storms. Each of these markers are storms. And will be another concern if, let me see if I can do this. I guess I can't write on this. No, I can't. Well, if you look here at the kind of froze on me, but we're getting training of the cells as they move inland, and that'll bring a lot of heavy rainfall. Okay, now we're going to go to the forecast. Oh, now it's going to load. Okay, we're going to look at the forecast period for the 17th to the 21st. Here we're at the 17th. And the pattern doesn't change very much. We still have strong positive height anomalies or a ridge. Here we have a trough over the northwest, and here's a ridge, and here's Florence. Or you could say the center of the ridge, and Florence moves in. And this is what we're expecting during this period. So We're going to look now. I already did the... Oh, I got to get to the rest of the forecast. Okay, the remnants of Flores moves northeast, and then there'll be a fall-like air pattern that will filter into the plains and the Midwest and Great Lakes early next week and eventually to the east later in the week. Now the period for September 20th to 21st. Here's the 20th. The pattern begins to flatten. This is the GFS. You still have a ridge, trough ridge configuration. And as I put this into motion, you start seeing like a little bit of the flattening of the flow. Then we look at the other models. I'm just going to skip through them. But overall, you can see we still have a ridge, trough ridge configuration. So for this forecast period, I am forecasting below normal temperatures for push of the west coast and the northern Rockies, and I'm forecasting anomalies about 4 to 6 degrees below normal. Above normal precipitation is forecast for this region here, anomalies of 6 to 12 degrees. Above normal, I don't know, that might be a little high, but for now we'll keep it at 6 to 12. And for precipitation, calling for below normal precipitation for the western states. Forecast of occurrence is 45 to 55%, and we have above normal precipitation forecast for this area here. Probability of occurrence is 45 to 55%. And then we go now to the period for September 25th to 29th, and those have been watching the videos. The models are trended to the yesterday's GFS solution. And you can see here we had generally a trough in the west, ridge in the east. This is a GFS, and we go through the period. You can see that most of the models are showing this, but there's some intensity issues. See where the NAEFS is the flattest, and then we look at the European, which is the deepest, and we have a ridge here over the east. So for this forecast period, I am forecasting little change in temperature anomalies, maybe a little lower, about 4 to 8 degrees below normal across much of the nation here, 4 to 6 degrees below normal. And for precipitation, calling for below normal precipitation here. Forecast probability of occurrence is 45 to 55%, and then we have above normal precipitation forecast for this region, and the probability of occurrence is 45 to 55%. So that's a long range weather forecast discussion for September 17th to 29th. Thanks for coming to Jim Munley's World of Weather, and have a good day.